Hello everyone, it is me, your lovely host, the Gaming Weasel, and in today's video I'm gonna be covering the Inaros rework. Yes, with Dante Unbound, the newest Warframe update at the moment, we have gotten the Inaros changes, and I do have to say, he's finally useful. You can finally use him for something in Warframe other than just being an off-brand revenant. So, without any more delays, you're going to be getting basically armor shipping, nuking capabilities, crowd controlling, energy, health, everything you possibly want in one Warframe. And now let's get into the passive. Now, the passive is basically when you suffer fatal damage, you're gonna go into your sarcophagus, and then you're gonna turn into a sand version of yourself, and when you melee attack enemies, you're going to fill up the revive meter. Also, Scarab Swarm, your new fourth ability, was also gonna fill this up, so that is going to be very nice. Compared to the old method of sucking off enemies and not doing anything, this is definitely much better. Desiccate is still his first ability. It didn't really change much. You gain health now when you throw sand at enemies, and you still open them up for finishers and stagger them, which is very nice. And you can do finishers on more types of enemies that you did before, so that's pretty cool as well. Sandstorm. Yes, Sandstorm is going to be incredibly good. This is going to be armor shipping, sort of crowd control, actually not sort of, but crowd controlling, and also sort of nuking, and I guess you'll see in the gameplay in the background and later on in the video. Basically what has changed here, you gain health from this once you, depending on the, I guess, amount of enemies that you have inside of the Sandstorm, you deal slash damage, and with one crucial mod, this one right here, Elemental Sandstorm, we're going to make this build even better, and Sandstorm as an ability even better. Now, Scarab Shell is his third ability. This is basically his old fourth turned into his third. You sacrifice health and you gain armor. Now, this also absorbs status effects, but it reduces the armor that you have, which means you're gonna activate it again. So basically, activate it again. If you see you lose out on health, then regenerate health, and if you see only if you lose out on armor, regenerate the armor again, and then on health. Basically, plain and simple. Also, Scarab Swarm is his fourth ability. Last ability, you throw a cone of Scarab Swarms in front of you, and this does corrosive damage. It also spreads to enemies. It is based on your health values as well, just want to keep that in mind. And once an enemy has been, consumed by the swarm, it will turn into a swarm cavat, and there's a max limit of 3. But if you use this augment for your first ability, if you're gonna use his fourth ability, it is gonna give you an additional 2, which is gonna be very good. The reason that I don't use this ability is there's a better way of reducing enemies' armor, and this is not such a good crowd controlling ability that you necessarily need it. But what we do need is some extra damage and or even damage reduction, and this is where Eclipse comes in. Now, Roar, amazing, Nourish, amazing, but I think that you get a very good combination here with Eclipse, because it has been changed. It's not dependent on your light level anymore. If you tap the ability, you will be able to get damage reduction. If you hold the ability, you're going to be able to get damage increase or damage bonus, which is going to be very good on your weapons, which is going to kill and primarily nuke all of the enemies. So you sort of get the best of both worlds. You get damage reduction and also you gain a little bit of a damage increase. So that has been covered, and now let's cover the actual build for the Warframe itself. Inaros, this is what it looks like. I primarily focused on going with power strength, a little bit of range. Now my Exilis slot is empty because I don't have an umbral forma, but there's 3 things that I would recommend you put inside of there. First of all, mobilize. That is going to be very good for your tornado, power drift and or cunning drift. Either one that suits you, you can use either one, it doesn't really matter. I am gonna put mobilize in there just there so you know. And I guess multi-augmented Arcane Energies are pretty much important here, and I think must-haves. Now, the other important thing here is the Archon shards. Because we're going to be armor shipping with corrosive, we need an additional 4 extra stacks, and this is where Archon shards come in. We have 2 that are going to be giving us a total of 4 extra stacks of corrosive, or I guess 2 green Archon shards and 1 blue one, giving us an extra 75% energy, or I guess 75 energy. Now, you can put anything else you want in there. You can put casting speed. I don't think you necessarily need more power strength. You can just put in melee critical damage if you want to. Anything. As I said, those last ones are basically flex slots. And let's talk about the melee weapon of choice, the main damage dealer. Now, here we have the dual conqour Incarnate. I am in love with this weapon. This weapon has been used in my Saren build, and this is what the actual build looks like. This build is primarily gonna be for, as you may see by the name, Inaros stripping. So we have corrosive, which we do need, and we also have just base damage and also critical chance with blood rush, keeping in mind that our companion is also gonna keep our combo counter up, so we're not gonna have to worry about that, but you can switch it out for sacrificial steel. Same with melee crescendo. Choose any other melee Archon that you want. I personally chose this because of the finishers, but you can use whatever else you want. Now, because we technically don't have corrosive anymore on our weapons, or I guess on our Warframe, because we subsumed Eclipse instead of Scarab Swarm, we need corrosive another way. Now, the good thing is that we of course have Elemental Sandstorm, as with this ability, or I guess mod that we talked about earlier. As you can see, it increases the range of Sandstorm and also gives it a 100% chance of inflicting status effects based on the damage types on the mods, actually, and the mods on your melee weapon. So, because we have corrosive on our dual conqour and we also have primarily slash, that means our clouds are going to be, or I guess our sandstorm is going to be doing primarily corrosive and also slash, which means that counts as an ability, and we basically get full armor stripping with corrosive. And because of the gas clouds, because of the dual conqour Incarnate's evolutions, which are up on the screen right now, you're going to be able to basically gas enemies and also just nuke them with the amount of slash damages and also viral and also corrosive. And you might be asking, how do we get viral? Well, before we actually go there, Madurai or Nerimon, either one you want to use is going to be the best option. For Madurai, these two nodes are definitely to recommend. These are going to be the best nodes for gaining extra casting speed and also power strength. And if you want to go with Nerimon, just basically the first node power spike is going to be the only thing that you need just to keep that combo counter up. Now, how do we get viral? We get it through our Panzer Vila. Now, the Panzer is going to be using viral quills, of course, and going to keeping our combo counter up with Tandem Bond and giving us an extra 1.5 flat critical multiplier with Tenacious Bond. Keeping in mind, I do have Bite on here, which is going to increase my critical chance on my Panzer. And Prime, the pack leader, I think is going to be very good here because of the overshields. Everything else is pretty much should be set as is, and Deconstruct is going to give us health orbs. In turn, we are going to be gaining energy orbs, but of course, if we do put in equilibrium in, and synth fiber Panzer devolution, everything plain and simple. Now, you might have noticed that we do not have any other weapons. Well, honestly, I don't think you necessarily need any. You don't need a secondary. You can equip any secondary or any primary that you want. I personally run this build as is against acolytes, against all types of enemies, and I don't seem to have any issues. This is something I would call pretty much a plain and simple Inaros build without any hassle. I do hope you guys enjoyed. The way it's supposed to work, before I actually go, is basically just activate your Scarab Shell, get yourself armor, heal yourself back, kill enemies, activate your Incarnate form, kill more enemies, group them up with Sandstorm, and fully armor strip them, put them down on the ground, finish them, and that's pretty much it. And that's how it's supposed to work. And easy peasy lemon squeezy, you have one Warframe. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I surely did making it. Do leave in the comment section down below something that I maybe missed out, something maybe that I could have done differently. I am quite interested in your feedback. Do, leave a like and do subscribe for more content. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been your lovely host, the Gaming Weasel, over and out.